you beautiful people. This is Intentional Healing, and I am Nicole. Thank you so much for coming and listening today. I thought today that I want to talk about judgment. It's kind of a big topic. We all do it. We all judge. And if you're telling yourself right now that you don't judge, it's because you have judgment on the fact that you judge, if that makes sense. So before we begin, let's all just take a deep breath. And for the next little while, just allow yourself to be here. All the things that are calling your attention will still be there when we're done. So why do we judge? Take a minute, think about circumstances that you have judgment around. There may be frustration, annoyance, anger, fear. It may be because you have decided that that's not the way to be in life and you don't want to be like that, and so that annoys you that that person is like that. Perhaps there's a fear in you that maybe you might be like that. Always, 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 our judgment is a window into a limited belief that we are holding on to. And that limited belief is just there, trying to keep us safe. So instead of being annoyed that you have judgment around something, it's really important to be curious. Oh, that is really bothering me. I wonder what that's about. Oh my gosh, this person is really pissing me off. Okay, breathe. I wonder what that's about. As soon as you start to bring this sense of curiosity around something that normally has quite an intense charge and even an intense hold on you, can take over your thoughts, sometimes for hours, sometimes for days. As soon as you start to be curious, it releases a little bit of the hold. The thing to remember is that anytime you have judgment on someone else, it is because there is a judgment that you are holding on to on yourself. The amount that we judge others is equal to the amount that we judge ourselves. And it may, in many cases, be subconscious. We may not even be aware that we're judging ourselves. But as we start to journey in, you start to uncover places of unforgiveness. So anytime that you find yourself judging someone, the thing to remember is that this is not about them. This is annoying you because this is a window into something you are holding on to about yourself. And that your soul is calling your attention to this thing, this belief that you're holding on to that's not true. Not true from your spirit self. But your mind thinks by holding on to it that it's somehow keeping you safe. So step one, be curious. When something bothers you and triggers you, take a deep breath and be curious. Gosh, that is really bothering me. I wonder why. The next step is to really recognize the feeling that it brings up for you. And how you do this is in a quiet moment, and it can be even if you're just walking down the street or driving your car. Take a moment to just let go of your brain, which is justifying all the reasons why this is annoying and why it's okay to judge it. For a minute, you want to just take your breath from your mind into your body. You can do that right now. And feel in your body where this emotion is. That is really making me feel anger. I feel really angry about that. And I feel it here in my chest. That is really making me feel afraid. And I'm feeling it deep in my stomach. Just important to notice in your body where you're feeling it. It helps you get out of your head and into your body. And starting to name the feelings that it brings up for you. Jealousy, rage, bitterness, resentment. It may even have a voice. And this is the next part. If this feeling could have a voice, what is it saying to you? And taking a moment to write it down. It is always, always, always at the root afraid of something. So let's give an example. Perhaps there were times when I was feeling really insecure about my physical body, about my weight, that I would be in judgment of others, particularly women and women who I saw in loving relationships, walking down the street. And I wasn't judging them so much for being skinny or fat. It's like I was looking at them in comparison to myself. You know, if she's skinny and has a boyfriend, it's because she's skinny. If she is overweight and has a boyfriend, well, why can't I, kind of thing. So what I did first is just notice the judgment that I was having on other people's body weight. And please replace this with any particular thing that is annoying you right now. So when I took a deep breath and I started to reflect, I was feeling, like I said, either jealousy or fear. And when I started to really listen to that voice was telling me that I wasn't worthy of love as I was. And that I wasn't going to find love until I lost the weight. And there was a constant judgment on myself for not being good enough as I was. Now go a step even deeper. There was a belief that I was holding on to that in order to find love, I needed to be a certain body type. And when I saw women who were overweight and debunked that belief, it made me angry. Wait a minute. I hold this belief that I need to be 10 pounds lighter to find love. And it annoyed me. Or seeing someone who was slender and feeling like I could never be like that. And therefore I would never be loved. Now go even further. This part of me is just seeking love. And at some point in my life, it decided that how I get love is by having a certain body type. The beautiful thing that's happening here is that you can see now that the reason that this was annoying me, that I was judging other women and their bodies, was because my spirit was beckoning me to let go of a belief that I was holding on to that was not serving me and that was not true. Once you start to hear this voice, and it's really important not to judge the voice, right? Because there's a part of me that wants to say, it's not okay to judge others' bodies. Everybody's body is beautiful. That makes me a bad person for having that judgment. But it keeps the judgment there, and the hold stays on you. So the sooner you can release the judgment you have on yourself for having the judgment, the faster you can heal this. So notice that voice that has also decided that good people don't judge, that it's wrong to judge. As soon as you allow this voice to share with you what it's really afraid of, it dissipates its hold on you. And you start to allow some space in there. Some space to connect to your true voice. So now in this healing journey, as I connect with my true self, my higher self, that part of me knows that I am perfect just as I am. That everyone is perfect just as they are. And all this has been doing, this feeling of judgment, of fear, of anger, the only purpose that it had was to remind me of this truth that I had forgotten. The truth that I am perfect just as I am, that everyone is perfect just as they are. So I hope that that example is helpful to you, and please apply it to any realm of your life. Wherever something is annoying you and you have judgment on it, to notice how much your brain wants to hold the justification of why you should judge it. Take a deep breath and just be curious. Allow yourself the space and time to journey in and see where you have forgotten your truth with that specific thing. Happy journeying inward. It's such a pleasure to talk to you. Be well.